But it's shocking because Caleb Williams, a superstar quarterback out of college, #1 overall pick, is there. But he's thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. He had a game with under 100 yards, and in 3 games, he's already been sacked 13 times. This is absolutely asinine when you think about how much talent is out there at the skill positions and what Caleb Williams has produced on the field. Now, we're talking about a Chicago Bears quarterback, so let me talk to a former Chicago Bears quarterback. Chase, you played 14 years. You've seen it happen many times to several young quarterbacks. Are the Bears risking ruining Caleb Williams?
No, he's a big boy. He can handle it, man. And you said shocking. Why is it shocking for a rookie quarterback not to play well? Jaden Daniels had 1 good game. Okay, Bo Nix had 1 good game. Like, give him some time, Macho.
Okay.
It ain't shocking, Shady. I'm with you on this. Like, rookie quarterbacks is hard to do and hard to play. He can handle a couple bad games. The biggest thing that I see from watching the films, I want him to stop pressing. Chase, what does that mean? If stuff's not open, check it down. If stuff's not open, do your little spin in the pocket, go left, go right, don't throw an interception, and get out and go run for 2 or 3 yards. Listen, I get it. I've been there, and I've played games. I've started games without a run game. Because it is so hard as a quarterback to put all that pressure on you, especially when you're throwing it 53 times a game. You got to be perfect every single snap. I want to see some plays where he takes some plays off.
What's that mean?
Yeah, I want to see some plays where he just hands the ball off and doesn't have to think about anything. One where he just fakes to the left, rolls to the right, throws a little flat. I want to see some innovation in that offense, and you have to be mentally tough to play quarterback in the NFL. It's so difficult. The biggest thing that I did a really good job at, and I've seen Drew Brees, because I've been in a room with him 5 years. I've seen Alex Smith toward the end of his career with Casey. I've seen Justin Herbert. You got to have a short memory, short-term memory. I don't care what you did the last play. You can't take an interception or a fumble or a sack and take it over to the next play because it's going to compound. You don't want it to compound. You want to say, hey, let's just focus on one play at a time. It sounds so cliche, but if you focus on one play at a time, don't worry about the outside expectations, don't worry about anything else than doing the exact thing you should be doing on this certain play, and just string 65, 70 plays together. It's easier said than done. Just stop pressing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. I like questions.
Do you think it does something? I'm asking you because you're the quarterback. Do you think it does something to a quarterback's mental to where I'm not used to playing like this? I'm not used to throwing these picks now in these last 2 games. I'm throwing these interceptions. I'm not getting protected, whatever it may be. Do you think if he continues to play like this, it could ruin his confidence?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because, and it's not really what Caleb is accustomed to. I see an offense for the Chicago Bears, because it all comes down to situation and fit. I see an offense for the Chicago Bears that's a true NFL offense. They're shift, motion. You got a lot on the quarterback's brain to get out there and actually execute it.
Yeah.
That's not what he did at USC. Shady, you even said it in the pregame meeting a couple of days ago. Caleb is a one progression guy and run. Go do your thing. So I want to see him actually play in an NFL offense. He's not used to that. I think the Bears are asking him to do too much right now. Now, he's not making good decisions, but as a quarterback, when you're used to having all this success and all this hype, and all of a sudden you get into the NFL and you're 1-2, you really should be 0-3. You're 1-2, and you're saying, can I do it? But I think it's still too early, but like if he has a sustained non-success, it absolutely can.
I'm gonna say no, right? What I'm gonna ask you this is, have you guys ever lost confidence before? Because y'all talking about confidence.
Yes, I have.
Big
That's
time.
why I asked.
1,000%.
Big time.
Did you guys ever get it back?
Yes.
How'd you get it back?
Playing well.
Experience.
Playing well. So my thing is, like, he's a rookie, so it might be hard. This whole year might be bad for him, right? I've seen rookies play bad, and next year, like, oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
It happens like that. Jalen Hurts. Let's keep it honest. I watched Jalen Hurts 1 year. I'm like, yo, I couldn't believe that was him. From the next year, I'm like, that's Jalen Hurts? Yeah, you can get better. My thing is, if you long as you keep working, and he's a young player. When you're young with that youth, it comes with time. And I think he has all the talent. When we talked about him being that difference maker and that quarterback at USC and how talented he was, you know, it was a matter of getting drafted the first pick overall, but it's more of his contract, his duration of him being a Bear. I don't think his first year he'll be a superstar because it's hard to be a rookie. I do think that by the end of this thing, he's going to be a superstar Hall of Famer because he has that type of talent. So let's give us some time. I mean, it's only, the 3rd game?
Of course. I agree with you. Again, my issue here, my concern, my fear is they are risking ruining Caleb Williams. The operative word there being risking. I was sitting on a flight back from Mexico to America with the head coach last year, and he said more players are ruined by coaches than coaches are ever ruined by players.
Facts.
More players are ruined by coaches than coaches are ever ruined by players. Here is my fear. Because I believe that winning is a habit. I believe that losing is a habit. Right now, Caleb Williams has built a habit of losing. Remember at USC, he finished 1-5. Now in Chicago, he's currently 1-2. So over his last 10, roughly, NFL games, he's 2-7, 2-8. Y'all realize when Caleb Williams goes into the huddle in the fourth quarter, more often than not, he knows that game is going to end in a loss as opposed to ending in a win. That, to me, is the risk that the Chicago Bears are running. You are teaching Caleb Williams the habit of having to press. Because you learn habits in the National Football League. Oftentimes, I might learn the habit of, okay, if I strain my shoulder, I'm going to slip the block instead of hands, button pressing and shedding. And so now that my shoulder is back healthy, I've already trained myself to slip the block instead of condensing the gap. I got that habit built in. Chase, if the Bears do not fix this quickly, they will put Caleb Williams in the habit of pressing. So that is the concern that I'm worried about, is these bad habits.
If I'm Caleb Williams, he's very aware of what everyone says about him. He's been the first one to say it. He doesn't care what people think about him crying to his mom or paying. He could care less. So I want you, Caleb Williams, to care less about the team that you're playing on in terms of USC when he finished 1-5. Okay, I'm sorry, Acho, that was a very, very bad team. Caleb didn't play well. Right now, the Bears are not a great team up front in run game. They're not supporting their rookie quarterback. I understand he's not an elite guy that we say up here all the time where you got to put the team on your back and carry him. He's asked to do too much these first two games, so don't think about that. Don't lose that confidence like he was saying. Well, you got to be able to gain it back.
Number one, I think Caleb Williams is too good of a player for the Bears to ruin. I do think he's that type of talent. I think he's too good of a player for the Bears to ruin. Number two, through these first three games, here goes slice of pie for you, here goes slice of pie for you, slice of pie for everybody. Right? Because Caleb Williams holding the ball too long sometimes. The O-line ain't protecting sometimes. We can't run the football, right? Receivers may not be getting open sometimes. There's a bunch of stuff to go around. It's not just all on Caleb Williams. But still, when I do turn the tape on Caleb Williams, it's some place where I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like, bro, can still make them plays? Like, as a rookie, it's those plays. So we knew that the season was going to go like this for Caleb Williams, being the #1 overall pick. Did we think it would be a little bit better right now these first 3 weeks? I did, for sure. But I am not super surprised that it's going this way. But I think he is too good of a player, and he has way too much talent for any organization to ruin him. Sometimes it's just players like that can just drop in there, and it may be a rough season, but you're not finna ruin me. I'm gonna get to that dude. And I believe Caleb Williams is still going to get to that dude and to that quarterback that we've seen at USC because of the talent that he has at the quarterback spot. It's rough right now, but I do think he has that talent, and I don't think the Bears can ruin that.
I don't know if I agree with that, 2-5. Only reason I don't know if I agree with that is the quarterback, more than any other position you could suggest in sports, is a psychological position. If it was running back, I would agree. Oftentimes, obviously, I sit next to Shady. I've known Shady the longest on this set. Shady submits to the theory, and I agree at the running back position that if you like that, you like that. You just finna pop off and be like that. But I think the quarterback, because it is such a psychological position, if they ruin your confidence, ruin your psyche, if they ruin your ability to go out there and with some sort of like actual belief in yourself, go out there and lead a team. I've seen great quarterbacks be ruined. Maybe not as great as Caleb Williams. I agree. Maybe not as great as Caleb Williams. But I've seen great quarterbacks.
You know what? He might need this, though, right? And I like Caleb. I think he has that, he's super confident. I always talk about when I see him at the restaurant, we was talking, and I was like, man, you know, they comparing to Patrick Mahomes. Like, I was giving him big ups on that. And he said, yeah, that's cool. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. He said, I look at Pat, man, hell of a player, but, I can do all the things he can do. You know what I mean? I'm my own self. So I love to hear that. Yeah. But that may be overconfident. And I think sometimes with really great players, because I've been there where, hey, I might need a reality check. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know what I'm going to do? I had a bad year, right? Cool. Everybody's doubting me. I like that, because he probably never had that before. He never probably been doubted. He's always been a top-tier guy. So now he goes back home, and I'm going to go train my butt off. I'm going to train my butt off. I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to read more coverages. I'm going to watch way more tape. And then when they see me, they're going to love me. I'll give you an example. My first year in Buffalo, they paid me a big deal, and I got traded to Buffalo from the Eagles. And my first year, I was hurt, and I was depressed a little bit, to be honest. and I wasn't really happy to be there. My heart was in Philadelphia, and I had a rough start. I was hurt, and then I got hurt, so I was really just kind of in the tank, just hiding out. And I heard all these whispers, oh, is he worth the money? Is he this, that, and the third? I was like, oh, for real? Cool, bet. That off season, I put the Rolls Royces in the garage, I put everything away. I went back to my hometown to train. So the next year, came back as an all-pro type Pro Bowl player. So he might need that. He might need a little adversity, people doubting him. Because he is that special, he is that good. I think if he goes home and really locks in, because he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Yo, the hardest thing, I swear, is going from college to the pros. It's so hard. But the second year is the most... The biggest adjustment, the biggest impact for you, I think, in my
That's such a good point, because people don't realize, and I'm about to tell you guys, and you guys can chime into this conversation. You said it, because you're really playing football 2 straight years, from your last year in college to your first rookie year. Okay, your rookie year off season is the best off season you'll ever have going into your second year.